welcome to my channel, Monet TV. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel so you get notifications when I post new videos. Now, hopefully you'll see this video after I've created my playlist on this channel under finance, because I was actually at work today and I got like a inkling or like a feeling after reading an email on my lunch break that, let me get the cord out the way, that I should start like a channel on my YouTube or a playlist where I talk about a lot of financial or finance type topics from my viewpoint and my experience. So yeah, this is the first video of that series. So welcome. I will say because I was at work, even though I was doing my work, I was still at the back of my mind. I was like, who would really actually want to watch this? For those who don't know, or you may know from my music career as a songwriter and singer, I go by the stage name Lady MSV, and a few of my songs talks about some of my experiences, or hints at them, I guess I should say, and some actually talk about my experiences, and those would know that I have been a domestic violence survivor. I have lived in hotels for some years, and for those who follow me on other social media, you may have seen me start a career path, end a career path, or try to start a business and maybe not go through all the way. So I was sitting at work, again, just thinking in between when I had things to do, and I was like, who would really listen to anything I have to say? But I guess I should start off with an image or screenshot of what I got in my email today. And I'm sorry if I'm looking crazy, the camera's like weird. So I was at work today and I got an update. You know, it's the new year, 2023, and it was regarding 2022, my overall credit look, or I can't, where's my phone? Oh, credit review of like the previous year, basically. And no, I'm pulling it up so I don't tell you guys the wrong stuff. I want this channel to be factual, informative, laid back and relaxed, but like still, I don't want to tell you guys the wrong thing. I want to take this seriously, and I'll take my time to do that. So hopefully you see it on the screen. I was at work and I got an email regarding that over the past year, my credit score went up 61 points, and I paid down a personal loan, $828. And at first, I was at lunch, so I was like, interesting. But then the longer I thought about it, I was like, wow, like in a year, changing my mindset, I was able to actually accomplish a lot. And if I could just share my story, the things I've learned, because for those who don't know, let me come back to that. Share my story and just give back to my community, my viewers, my subscribers, and just actually attempt to make a difference in this world, then that's what I wanted to do. Now, what I was going to say earlier is, for those who don't know, my full-time job, I work at a credit union. So I now work in the finance industry, which is this is my first ever in this industry. I also, I don't want to go too far. Okay, I guess I'll mention that to show somewhat of a background. I have some standing, I actually have real training on certain topics, but I'm not advertising for that company because I don't want any legal issues. They're not promoting this, they're not telling me to do this. This is my own accord, so I don't really want to mix work with this. But just to give you guys a quick overview, I do have experience in the finance industry, which is where I gained some knowledge and that I now kind of want to share with you, but on a more personal level, not business. Not giving any finance advice. I'm not an accountant. Definitely search for those at your leisure. I just want to give back, sharing knowledge, sharing some life experiences that I have regarding finance to hopefully help others just with their own personal situation. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so, sorry, I wrote a list down while I was at work on my planner. So, the reason for the channel. And understanding my audience. So I did touch on that, but I want to go back. So I realized that the way I'm going to present myself or present my knowledge, present my stories, it's really going to pertain to people who may consider themselves at their lowest point or just starting out. Maybe they have no credit, have very little work history, they just don't know, and they're maybe unsure about the future, and they would just want to make sure they can get stable and secure. I also figured other domestic violence survivors would also be my audience, because I will touch on topics that honestly only us would really understand and comprehend. I've realized in the past when I talk to people about certain topics regarding domestic violence, and the person that I'm talking to has never been in that situation or has experienced something to the extent that I did, they don't always understand my viewpoint. So I figure that a lot of my viewers and over time loyal subscribers will be from that category. And in my opinion, it's because when you, and also anyone that may not have been raised and taught like from their family's financial literacy, although I was taught certain things like how to cut money, how to balance your checkbook and certain things, I still wasn't told about like all the different options that financial institutions can offer you. For example, really quickly, like money market accounts, CDs. I really didn't know what a CD was until I started this job, my current job at the credit union. So I'm just saying, your family can maybe have taught you like the basics, but to actually get a broader understanding on finance topics and just financial literacy, it's different than just, how to count, how to, I don't know. Anyways, let's just keep going. But I feel like that's my audience. Like, anyone that pretty much you're starting off or rebuilding or restarting. Like starting out from nothing, like no knowledge, no experience, maybe no job or no schooling, and you're just like, I want to plan for the future, or you're rebuilding, like in my case, because I have had homes before, I've rented apartments before, I've had newer cars before, all of that. So I would consider myself as a restarter, whatever, like that's my overall idea of who my audience is going to be. Because I just feel like, why would a millionaire or a successful business owner watch this? Because a lot of this they probably already know. But if you are entertained with what you see, or maybe I say something and you're watching and you didn't know about it and I did help you out, then like you're feel free to join, subscribe, and stay with the fam. But I just want to put a disclaimer out there. I'm probably going to talk in a way or on a level that will pertain more to my audience. So I am aware that some people who watch this may not relate to my mindset, but that's because I understand why my mindset is my mindset, so there's no hard feelings if this channel is not for you. Okay, types of topics I'm going to cover. I kind of mentioned some. I'm going to mention or cover on this playlist or this series, that's the word, I don't know why I can think of it. On this series, I'm going to talk about like different accounts that are available to you at financial institutions. For example, money market accounts, CDs, the different types of like IRAs, like different things you can do in your life to start now saving for a goal, start now saving for retirement, or start now paying back debt and just rebuilding your life and saving in the process. Like, that's pretty much the general topics that I'm going to cover on this series. I did write some other stuff. Oh, and I also wrote down part of my personal history and experience, again, that I mentioned earlier. I may cover like a financial topic, maybe even a word, like a vocabulary word, like a definition or idea of something, and I may like stop and like relate to my personal experience. So I'm not saying it's a vlog. It's also not like a how-to series. I think it's like my own thing that I'm going to do, and hopefully you guys that are watching are down for the ride. So I will be talking about some personal stuff as well as just financial information. Okay, and I also put down my personal finance philosophy, and I know that may sound kind of weird, and I wrote pretty much what my financial philosophy is, and again, it's based on my situation and my experience and my history. My financial philosophy is start small, but think big. Because in the past, when I was younger, I used to feel like I couldn't achieve certain goals because I wasn't making this amount of money, or I didn't have this support that maybe others have. And over time, due to experience, age, wisdom, and of course now my current position, actually working in the finance industry, seeing behind the series, seeing what really matters, it's like no matter if you save $1 a week, if you don't touch that dollar, truly, like, okay, how many days are in a year? 365. Literally at the end of the year, you have $365. Now, imagine if you can just bump it up a bit. $2. Sorry. Like, when I go over topics on this series, I'm going to probably come back to this philosophy a lot because I feel like at one point this was one of my biggest challenges, because you want the things that your friends have or your family members have, or you feel like I'm working so hard at this job, never getting promotion, never getting recognition, and I feel like where I'm at, I can never reach these goals, I can never go on these vacations, I can never earn these things, or can never experience this, and I used to be my worst enemy. I was sabotage. A lot of times when I talk about topics, I know me, I'm always most likely going to refer back to my financial philosophy, which is start small, think big. Yes, we want to achieve big things in our lives. Say, how are you going to give financial advice in a hotel or with your situation? Because I can look back from a year ago and see how far I've grown. Not even talking about the email I got today. In my mindset, in my day-to-day activities, and what I have decided is important, and what I have decided I will no longer allow. And in 1 year, I can see a difference. 3 years ago, there was actually 4 years ago, there was a major difference, because that's exactly 4 years ago has been since I've been in contact with my domestic abuser. I don't know how you word that. I don't want to say it weird. And I also don't want to go into too much detail because that's not the point. Like, that's not, like, important. But it's been 4 years. In those 4 years, I had to leave an apartment because I feared for my life. And then I had to start all over, sleeping on couches, just lower than where I was 5 years ago. Like, oh my god, I felt really passionate when I was at work thinking about this. It's like I want to go deep into a lot of issues, because there's things that I think a lot of people, you know what, hopefully other people do watch this channel who may be even like above what I consider my audience, maybe like millionaires or business owners, like successful, because maybe even something I can say can like trigger them to want to also give back, uplift, inform, educate others on how to improve their situations, and even maybe in life situations, because again, I wasn't always here. I actually had opportunities and then I fumbled them, or others in my life try to fumble me to fumble my goals, and unfortunately succeeded in some of that. And then after that, I met someone. Oh, okay, I'll continue, but I'll come back. After that, I met someone, and they knew my situation, and I was a victim of, I guess you can say, not really, well, in my opinion, fraud, but I guess you can really say theft. So this person knew my situation, my domestic violence situation, and I was in a hotel, and they were like, oh, I know someone that has this opportunity. They have openings, and it's a better living situation. And I got text messages, like I got so much information from this other person that I actually really thought it was real. And I'll probably make another video about this in details. But basically, that person stole $500 from me. Imagine being at your lowest in a hotel, just trying to live your life, trying to heal from certain things you've experienced, like months and years prior. For someone to come into your life, know everything that you've experienced, and goes, yeah, that's a person I'm going to steal from, when they're on their lowest and barely have anything. And I actually had to end up going to my mom's for a little bit until I got paid. I had a job. I literally, throughout this whole thing, maybe a few months here or there due to COVID and stuff like that, I've always had a job. So I think I was there for a few days till I worked, got paid again, and then I came back to the hotel. But yeah, that'll probably be another topic. It's like I have so much to talk about, and there's so many different variations. And then I was just sitting at work today, and I was like, I feel like it could maybe help somebody, and maybe multiple people, because not everybody goes through a domestic violence situation. Not everybody has been a victim of theft. Not everybody has been an idiot when they were younger, but somebody somewhere may resonate with something I say, and if that like multiplies and I can help quite a few people, I don't know, I just felt really compelled to do it, and I feel good about it. Like, I'm gonna do it. Hopefully you guys like it. I wrote down perseverance and dedication. Honestly, just me personally, that is what has gotten me through a lot of things. My perseverance and dedication. And also, when I've had setbacks in my past, a few times, not a lot, not every time, but there were a few times certain things happened to me because I essentially gave up. I didn't want to keep going. I was tired, or and again, I guess this is coming with age and wisdom. It's like, you know what you can't do to because of what happened. So let's try something different to see if this will help you get to your goal. Hopefully that makes sense. So I'll probably talk about that a lot, just knowing me. So there may be some motivational segments too. I'm just like motivating you guys, because honestly, changing your life, especially financially, won't happen in a day. Honestly, probably not a week, a month, and honestly, it may take up to a year, if not a few years. But that depends on where you're at, and we're all at different places. Again, some of us may be at the very bottom, some of us may be below bottom. I guess that's what I consider myself restarting, because it's actually, once you get like, not a record, but a reputation, whether it's your fault or not. I mean, okay, side story. If I used to sleep with my purse and my wallet under my pillow in hopes of stopping my domestic abuser from stealing from me, so I could pay my house rent, because at the time I was renting a house, a 2-bedroom house. so I can pay my house rent, make sure I had gas to get to work, and make sure we have food for me, my son, my family. And again, I don't want to be too emotional on these videos, but I also am not the type of person to be like, okay, finance, like A, B, C, and D, the end. Like, I feel like I need to share some of my experiences, some of my mind frames, some of my ideologies to help others understand where I'm coming from. Okay, prime example. And a lot of people probably won't like this, and this may stop me from getting subscribers. But in my personal opinion, from my personal experience, I believe that when you are rebuilding your life, starting off just building a life, I believe you really should put relationships, like romantic, to the side. Now, a lot of people these days probably don't want to be single, especially if it's going to be like a long time. But again, I have ideologies about this and why I feel like it's a good idea. If you are starting out, you have no credit, no job, or you just started a job but no savings. Dating maybe could be fun, but let's say you have a goal of getting your first car, or maybe your parents are saying you have to leave, so you need to get a roommate, rent out a room, or get your own apartment. And I guess this can go to any category in your life. I'm just going to use this example starting out. If you're dating, like going out to restaurants, going out to not concerts, well, I guess that's my idea of a date. Anyways, going out to restaurants, going out to eat, going out to the movies. Although it's fun, let's say you have a deadline. Your parents are saying in 5 months you need to move out. I personally think dating, all that should be put to the side, because even if you love this person or care about them, I feel like if they cared about you, they would understand or possibly help you in your situation. But that's not the point, because I'm going to talk about self-dependent, self-reliant financial literacy over here. Okay, so you have a deadline. You have to mail at your parents' house. You don't really have any credit. You just graduated high school. You just started a job. What are you going to do? So, some topics or some videos that I may make would literally be like talking about my personal financial philosophies. For example, one being put dating to the side. Why? Because when you go and order that popcorn, first of all, movie popcorn is expensive. Imagine if you, so say if you and this imaginary person that you were dating wanted to take you out twice a week. The food, the popcorn, the gas, or even if you guys are in the city and you take transportation, even the cost of transportation, all of that adds up. And if you, instead of invested your time and energy in that, saved up for a few months, you could reach your goal of putting the deposit down on an apartment, or a room, or having enough to do the application, having enough to actually achieve the goal of I need to move out, or I need to get this car. And you're new, you just graduated high school, you never had a job, you essentially have low credit score because you essentially have no credit. Your focus needs to be on getting stability. And I don't consider myself a boomer. I was born in 92. Like, in a few days, I'm going to be 31. I don't consider myself that old. But again, based on my experiences, I want to put certain messages out in the world because I feel like it would benefit. So if you are a young person watching this, I hope you stay. I hope I didn't scare you. Especially if you have short goals or, short goals that are tasks that you're trying to complete. A few months of not going on dates or eating out won't kill you, but it could literally mean the difference of you starting off on the right foot on your financial journey. And now I'm gonna leave that there. And that leads me to my next point. I put limit distractions, which again could be like dating, going out, eating fast food. Now, I will personally say, because of my situation, I eat out more than I would like, but it's not because I kind of have the choice to do anything else right now. Um, so, again, I'm in a hotel. So, for those who are not in a hotel, you have an oven and stuff and you can cook. I would recommend going to the grocery store. I know food's a little bit expensive now, but if you can rate, I was gonna say ratio, if you can ration your food, like cook a meal and you can able to split it up for 2 days, maybe even 3 days, think of going somewhere for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, eating out, whether it's Starbucks, fast food, or an actual restaurant like Red Lobster, Chili's, or even going to like, I was supposed to say 7-Eleven because sometimes they have like hot dogs and stuff, but my real point is instead of going to all these random places, eating out every day, if you save that money, went into the grocery store, got food, cooked it, separated it, or cooked enough where you can make it last 1 or 2 days. Like, oh, I had this for dinner. There's leftovers. I'm gonna take the leftovers. Excuse me. I'm gonna take the leftovers and go to work and eat my leftovers for lunch. Like, if you calculate it, and oh, I'm gonna make a video on this too about budgeting. Like, literally, go, and I did this. It took me like almost 4 hours, and I'm not kidding. But I don't know. Did I? Oh my god, I got so distracted. Did I tell you guys in the beginning that I have 2 jobs? I have my corporate finance job, and then I have a weekend job. I'll let you guys know. It's McDonald's. It's nothing crazy, but it's part of my plan and how I'm going to advise that maybe you guys look into extra income. And also, I mentioned earlier that I have my songwriting, singing career. That is also part of my plan. I may make a video about that. Guys, if you can start creating multiple streams of income, and I know a lot of people say this, but I'm not necessarily saying start an online store, or I want to wait till I actually make the video about this, but there's so much you can do. You can do investing. You can find a hobby that you have, like mine is singing, songwriting, and monetize that. Because these days you can monetize anything, art, writing. Oh, I do that too. Like I have, what's it called? It's called a vocal. Every time someone reads like my vocal articles, you earn like money, and then once you reach a certain limit, you can withdraw. I do that too. Like, you may not always become rich, and again, I'll go deeper when I actually make a video about this. You may not become rich, but just imagine, you have your job, your main job. You have a part-time job. Now, it could be physical like mine is, or it could be like an online work from home part-time. It could be whatever your situation, like whatever works for you. Like, okay, so you have your full-time, you have your part-time, you have a hobby here, hobby there, or some investments. Right. This goes back to my philosophy: start small, think big. Even if right now you're making pennies on some of these side hustles, starting small is better than not starting at all. And if you keep up that perseverance and dedication, the opportunity to grow those pennies to dollars, hundreds, thousands, whatever, it's there. It's how you do it, what you do it, and in my personal opinion, not stop doing it. But again, I'm gonna break all this up into different videos, different, maybe even mini series. I don't know. I was at work today, it came to me, and I was like, I kind of like this idea. I'm sharing myself with others, because sometimes I can be like a recluse and just like shut myself off from the world. I'm sharing myself with others, but I'm also helping others and their lives, and maybe if nothing else, just motivating. Okay, I hope like over time, as I make these videos, I can motivate somebody. Like, yo, she was in this situation and she got here, or she learned how to do this. I can do that too. And honestly, you can. Like, it's not, it's, it's not impossible for anybody, in my personal opinion. The only way it would become impossible is if it's your habits. Again, overspending, not staying dedicated to a goal. Like if you have a savings goal, and I'll talk about this later. If you have like a savings goal, certain things in life may make you saddened or feel distraught or feel overwhelmed. Like again, a lot of people want to like catch up to other people, have what someone else has. You just may not be able to at that time. And if you're not, I personally believe you have to be in a certain financial mindset to achieve certain goals. If you're not there, I feel like it is somewhat impossible. And I don't want to make anyone feel like I'm being negative, and I hope I'm not coming off that way. It's just like mindset means so much in life. A lot of us start at like the same levels. Some of us start at different levels. But there's a reason why there's somebody that starts off like what we consider the bare minimum and can become a successful entrepreneur, a successful business owner, a successful person in society. And I personally believe with my whole heart it's their mindset and their work ethic. I feel like as long as you have or stay within a certain mindset and you work on growing and stabilizing, and I can't think of the word, and honing in on your skill sets and abilities. I feel like I'm mumbling. I don't want to mumble. I'm going to end this. My last note literally says multiple streams of income. Oh, and that was my disclaimer. So I'll probably mention that on every video just because I don't want to give anyone false hope like, oh yeah, work a job, do this, and it's that easy. No, like I have 2 jobs. I have these side things that I'm working on. I don't know. I may share some current events and I may reflect on it with you guys, just give me my opinions. Honestly, there's a lot of opportunities for this finance series on this channel. So I'm really excited about that. I'm gonna end this. So, okay, like this video if you haven't already, and subscribe because I'm gonna break these down into smaller videos. Like micro small. I may like create an itinerary or something, I don't know. But anyways, if you watch this to the end, okay, if you watch this video to this point, I want you guys to put a money emoji in the comments, okay? So I love you guys. Stay blessed. Stay true to yourself. I think I took a picture. Technology. Bye.